Jesse, welcome to the University of Tennessee at Chattanooga, properly wearing gold and all that. We're so honored to have you. And hey, if you don't mind, we've all read your books and all are banana fans. But if you don't mind introducing yourself and the genesis of Banana Ball.
Of course. I know you guys have read it or researched on it, but yeah, the genesis of anything was I put myself in the fan's shoes. It was very, very simple in the sense of I played baseball my whole life. I tore my shoulder. That ended my career. I was coaching, sitting in a dugout, and realized that the game is fun to play, but it's pretty boring to watch. And I know most people won't agree with me, but some will. And so from there, I just started reading and researching and learning. I was very fortunate at 23 years old to get a GM job of a team in Gastonia, North Carolina, the worst performing team in the country. And there, I couldn't pay myself. There was no money, $268 in the bank account. But I was really hungry. As a guy who played, competitive D1 baseball, I wanted to win. And by winning was to make a team successful that was failing. And so I, if you, let me see, you can see behind me, I just started reading every single book that I could about, from Walt Disney to P.T. Barnum to Apple to Jeff Bezos to Grateful Dead to SNL to ESPN to Cirque du Soleil to WWE. I just started reading about some of the best customer service, most entertaining brands, and started testing and learning. And so 10 years in Gastonia, we went from 200 fans a game to a couple thousand fans a game, fourth in the country in attendance. But I think we only had one media story in my 10 years in that little small town. But we experimented, dig to China nights and midnight madness games and grandma beauty pageants and flatulence fun nights and salute to underwear nights and you name it, we tried it all. But what we learned was that fans had an appetite to see something different, to see something they'd never seen on a baseball field. So we had players dance and started experimenting. And so, long story short, went to Savannah and started a brand new team. Thought it was really smart for my wife and I, once we got married, to go into 7 figures in debt. We thought that was a brilliant move. Let's get married and go into over $1 million in debt. That was a terrible move because after 3 months, we sold 2 tickets and had to sell our house, empty our savings account, sleeping on an airbed, grocery shop with just $30 a week. We had a big vision, but people hadn't experienced it. You guys would probably learn in marketing. Everyone's about what's your marketing campaign. Everything's about talk. Marketing isn't what you say. Marketing is what you do. People don't realize that in the beginning when we started with Bananas, we were talking, but they hadn't experienced our product. So it wasn't until we named the team the Bananas, got attention, that they came out and they saw our players dancing. They saw the breakdancing coach. They saw the Banana Nanas. They saw the Banana Baby. They saw Pie My Dad and all the promotions, that they started telling everybody this was unlike any other game. And that became the ethos of us learning how to focus on the experience and the fans first with everything. And so, you asked, how do we come up with Banana Ball? Well, we were obsessed with making the show better, and we made the show better to sell out every single game in traditional baseball. But what we realized is that fans were leaving games early. And there were still parts of the game that were boring. Mound visits, stepping out of the box, walks. All of these parts of the game just dragged. A 9-inning game with blowout could be a 3.5-hour game. And fans were leaving early. So we took pictures of our grandstand every single night, starting at 5:30, 6 o'clock, 6:37. And we just got data that showed our fans were started leaving at 8:45, 9 o'clock. By 9:15, a good amount. By 9:30, good luck. There wasn't one fan who said, you need to create a new game and make it 2 hours and call it Banana Ball. Not one fan. But what we did is we watched our fans' behavior. Same with everything else. And so what I did is I started writing down what are all the boring parts of baseball. What would be the exact opposite? What would be fun? What would be the most fans first thing? Well, what if fans could catch a foul ball for an out? What if fans could actually challenge the ruling on the field by an umpire and get a rule overturned? And we just started mapping all this. And with anything, it starts with an experiment. So we did one experiment in Savannah in 2020 in COVID in front of just a couple hundred fans. And they were confused. I think everyone was. They're like, what am I watching? It was Bananas versus Bananas in the middle of COVID with fans just spread out all over the stadium, not knowing what they were watching. But one thing happened. They all stayed to the end because they were intrigued. The game was fast-paced. People weren't stepping out of the box. And so that showed me something. We actually did a survey that night, which we never do surveys, but I just wanted to do it. And most people didn't like it. They said they didn't like it. But their actions showed differently. We actually hired a consultant, spent 6 figures on a consultant because we were looking at the future of our game and Banana Ball. And they said emphatically, do not Do not leave traditional baseball. You cannot go to banana ball. Your fans do not want it. So we fired that consultant and said we're going all in on banana ball. And we went all in on banana ball, and we learned. 1 city world tour, 7 cities, 33 cities, major league stadiums, football stadiums. We just started testing and trying things and failing every step of the way. And, literally with our first ticket launch, the ticket system shut down. Our first MLB game, literally we had an attack on our ticket system, that shut it down. Our first game in Savannah, our all-you-can-eat, took 2 hours to wait. Our first game on ESPN, the transmission broke down. Every single time we've done something the first time, it hasn't gone perfectly, but we're willing to get up and do it again. And so now we launched a new team, the Party Animals, a few years ago. Now they have more followers than every Major League Baseball team on TikTok. Launched the Firefighters, the Tailgaters. Now they've grown over 1 million followers in a year. Now Teams 5 and Team 6 are now launching a league. So I think the biggest thing that we've learned is that you need to be willing to disrupt yourself if it's best for fans. And your fans won't necessarily tell you it's best for them. Sometimes you have to do things and watch how they respond. Today, we have over 4 million people on our lottery list over the last few weeks, ready to buy tickets. We're playing in front of 3.2 million fans next year, 10 football stadiums, 14 MLB stadiums, and even the Party Animals are selling out their own major league stadiums without the bananas. And so it has been a series of failures, a series of experiments, and I think the biggest thing is if you have a vision, you have to act on that vision. Most people, they think and they think and they think, and for us, it was about just start doing and testing. We didn't know we could do a banana land at sea cruise and sell it out with no banana ball, but we said that'd be fun. I think our fans would love to come on a cruise and interact with our players and play games and do fun things and do a theater show. You just try it. We announced a player draft last night where literally fans are getting the first 3 picks. That's crazy. You just try it and you learn from it. And that's kind of the ethos of how we do everything. So that's a little bit of an origin and opening kind of where we are now and what we're thinking about. But I'm really intrigued for you guys on any questions, thoughts, and ideas that you have.
Hey Jesse, can I get one in really quick? And then I'm gonna open it up to the kids.
Sure, of course.
So you one of the things that I'm most impressed by in banana ball in general, and you as a leader, is just the insatiable energy that you have. You're a dad, you're a husband, you're a business owner that works across the country, not just in Savannah, obviously. So you say fans first in everything you do.
Well, let's stay on that. Let's jump on that because I think this can be valuable for the students here.
Yeah.
If you guys all think about the last time that you had a lot of energy, okay, the last time that you were, go back to like you were fired up, like you were truly fired up about something. What was it? And if you can think about that, that can drive a lot of your success in life. What I created was my energy list. When I started in Gastonia many years, I was burnt out because I was doing operations, I was doing finances, which I don't like looking at money. I was doing sponsorship, I was doing hiring, I was doing everything, and it wore me out. It wasn't until I started realizing what gave me energy that changed everything. And for me, my energy list is filled with these 3 buckets: creating, sharing, and growing. If I'm creating, coming up with ideas, writing new things, working with our creative team and our marketing team and our video team, and building new things, I get excited. Growing. If I'm learning, if I'm reading books, I'm listening to podcasts, if I'm working on a new idea and growing and building what we're going to become. And then if I'm sharing, if I'm on a podcast like this, if I'm speaking in front of our group, I'm speaking to thousands of people, if I'm on the field, those 3 things give me energy, and then I can do that at a better level than I believe anyone else because I'm doing what gives me energy. So when I go see my kids at the end of the day and my wife and I get to hang out with them, I have energy because I did the things that gave me energy. So we can get into fans first, but I think it's really important it's not just about chasing your passion. It's finding out what gives you energy, which at the end of the day, you're even more energized doing. That's what's been an eye-opener for me and a lot of the people on our staff as well.
That's epic. That's epic. Somebody go. Somebody ask him a question. Go for it, man.
So, Mr. Cole, when did you learn that...
Feel free to call me Jesse. Thank you for the... Yes.
Jesse, when did you learn that you had a spectacle to harness for fans with banana ball, and how did you translate that to your other projects and team?
Spectacle is interesting. I got to spend some time with Jimmy Donaldson, Mr. Beast, and he's known to spectacle. And when I think about it was never really thinking about a spectacle. It was thinking about we have something that's truly unique and different, and our fans are responding to it. And so you want to find out what's one thing that you could potentially do better than anyone else in the world. And a lot of people try to do so many other things. They get pulled to normal, pulled to what everyone else is doing. For us, we realized that we could create the greatest show in sports if we focused as much on the entertainment as we did as the actual game. And so when I started seeing that the big picture wasn't just, hey, we're building the Savannah Bananas, we're building a sport of banana ball. The sport of banana ball I will put up against anything. You know, a game that you can play a game in an hour and 45, hour and 50 minutes. You can have 6 foul balls caught by fans for outs. You can have, at a football stadium, which we can play, you can have 11 home runs. You can have walk-off innings. You can have, you know, a guy in stilts play. You can have all these moments happen where there's not a lot of there's not a lot of, dead air or low energy. For us, that I realized that early on, that I watched that 98% of our fans were staying to the last pitch. That you look behind home plate, they're not just on their phones or they're not just talking here, they are locked in. We have people say they don't even want to go to the concession stand during a game because they might miss something. When you start seeing that, I realized that was something to build with our other teams and build different point of views, different shows, like Cirque du Soleil. Cirque du Soleil, you know you're going to get acrobatics, you're going to get some really crazy things you've never seen before, but each one has a different theme. Each one has a different story. Each one has different characters. That's what we're building with Banana Ball. It's Cirque du Soleil with no scripts as far as the gameplay, but lots of scripts and plans when it comes to the actual show and the development. So that's really what I saw, I guess, and try to harness was the ability to create the greatest show in sports with different brands and build the game of Banana Ball.
Jesse, one of the most convicting pictures I've seen in your books and some of the pieces that have been written about you and your family are the pictures of your bedroom when you guys were living on $30 and stuff like that. Just,
$30 a week. Come on, we had more than 3. All right, we had $30. We were balling out for a week.
If you could whisper something in the ear of yourself, knowing what you know now, what would you have told you at that point in your life when you were getting ready to build this incredible organization?
Keep going. Keep going. Keep coming up to bat. Keep coming up to bat. I think when I was a kid, my dad taught me when I came up to bat, I was a nervous, shy kid when I was growing up. My dad said, swing hard in case you hit it. And, I think people are so afraid to come up to bat because they might swing and miss. They might strike out. And we were striking out, but we just kept coming up to bat. The key is how long can you play the game? Whatever business you get into, often it could be short-lived. The business could go out. You could switch jobs. For me, it was just I want to keep playing the game. And when we were struggling, it was get to the next day, get to the next day, get to the next at-bat, get to the next opportunity, get to that first game, all right? Get to that first weekend game, get to that first night. And so that's the mindset that I kept saying. It's always just you keep moving forward. And, I shared with the team today internally, as I said, let me see, I'll read it exactly, but I shared with the team a quote from Walt because, of introducing the new things, and some people don't like them when we do new things. But Walt said, we keep moving forward, opening new doors, and doing new things because we are curious, and curiosity keeps leading us down new paths. That's what gets me excited, doing new things, opening new doors.
That's awesome. Well, can we get a few more questions in? Do you have a few more minutes?
Oh yeah, I have you till I have 30 blocked. Is it that's so I'm good for that.
Go for it, man.
What's the best piece of advice you've ever received?
Oh jeez.
A piece of good advice, yeah.
I get so it's tough because I don't have anyone that says like here's some advice. My dad when he was battling cancer and he's good, he's fine now. I just go back to that moment. He went through a year of battling cancer, and every day I asked my dad, I said, Dad, how you doing? And every day he said, Jess, I'm great. What's going on with you? What are you doing with the team? What's going on with you? Every single day he said he was doing great. And then one morning I called him and said, Dad, how you doing? He goes, I'm good, Jess. What's going on with you? And I noticed immediately the way he said good, he didn't say great, something's wrong. So I talked to my stepmother, I found out he had a night where he didn't know if he was going to make it. It was one of the most painful, sick nights. He didn't know if he was going to make it. And that morning he said he was good. When you think about advice you get, it's not often what people say, it's what they do. And I realized that, all the things that we worry about, we think about, my dad just had that mindset of, I'm going to win this season, I'm going to beat cancer, I'm going to be great, I'm going to respond in a different way than everyone else. I'm not going to let this beat me. So when I think about advice, I think about how to continue to stay positive, how to be optimistic, how to take that mindset of I'm going to be an energy giver. I'm not going to complain. I'm going to keep moving forward, stay positive, and be that way. And I think that wasn't advice, but it was an impact that my dad has given me that I try to look at every day is how can I bring the energy, bring the fun, and bring the positivity every single day. And if you do that, you'll uplift everyone else, and it'll be contagious right back at you.
Jesse, we got a bunch of young men and women who are about to enter into the full-time workforce. What does it take to work for an organization on the marketing side, like the Savannah Bananas?
What makes you different? So it's a question I ask every business, and I ask a lot of people, what makes you different? And I think it's a really hard question to answer. And so, for instance, if you're looking at trying to apply for a job, what's the normal way of applying? You do the regular application process, you send your resume, do all the normal stuff. I love the people that do it a different way. For instance, I have a videographer just solely on my team. So if you've seen any of my social media, we've, over the last year, it's changed dramatically. And I put out this post and I put all these different things that I wanted to see. A trailer, 10 ideas, a short video, all these things. Within an hour, a person reached out, Hudson, and he goes, I'm the person for this job. Here's why. I'm going to have this ready tonight. Boom. He worked through the night. The next morning he said, here's this. I'm sending something else out later this afternoon. I am your person for your job. I didn't even get to talk to anybody else. He was undeniable. And so my point is, how are you undeniable when you want to do something? How do you stand out? How are you so persistent in a way that you're adding value? A lot of people say, I want a job, I want a job. How can you give without wanting anything in return? There's a difference there. And what I've learned is that when you can do that and give to others and just keep showing up. I remember the famous author, was it James Patterson, the famous author, he said when he got his job at the ad agency before he started writing, they asked for one portfolio. He sent a portfolio every day, a new one. Here's one portfolio, here's another one, here's another one. By the fourth portfolio, they hired him. Do what others won't do. You want to get a job, you want to stand out, you want to be great at marketing or whatever that is, do what others won't do and give without wanting anything in return, and you'll always have an opportunity.
Mm-hmm. Who's going? Yeah, go for it.
Hey, and thank you for being here. How do you respond to traditional baseball fans who love the 18-inning marathon that we got last night? How do you respond to that and pitch that your game is different but is also enjoyable for traditionalists and non-traditionalists alike?
Hey, again, I don't think there's necessarily anything wrong with what happened last night. I think in baseball worlds, it's talked about, it was unbelievable. 18-inning World Series game, Shohei getting on base 9 times, all that excitement, that's good for the game. We can both coexist. Boxing and UFC, they both exist. Baseball and banana ball, they can both exist. And, there is crossover. We have traditional baseball fans that like banana ball, and we have banana ball fans that like baseball. And so, I don't really have any, criticism or, skepticism to anybody that's a baseball traditionalist. I think that's fine. I think we're just a different product, and we're okay with that.
Hey, Jesse, if everything God forbid, if everything with banana ball shut down tomorrow, if everything went just to boot tomorrow, what would be the biggest chunk that you take from it? The biggest thing that has impacted the rest of your life that you'll look back on this and smile and know that this was worthwhile and awesome? What's been the thing that meant the most?
That's such a hard question for me because I would never let something shut down like that. I would keep going. So, but no, it's the people, guys. We've had, I don't know if we've had anybody intentionally leave our company over the last 2 or 3 years, and we're hiring hundreds. And it's the people. We're around high performers that have fun, that believe in what we're doing, that have a purpose. And then we get to do it for people who truly appreciate us. Imagine this. So most jobs, you show up to work, whether you're remote or whatever, you show up to work, and very rarely do you get appreciated. You might get a thank you email from your boss or good work or something like that. We get to show up to a stadium and say it's a football stadium and there's 100,000 people, which we're going to play in front of this year, or 80,000 this past year. And we show up 5-6 hours before the game starts. There's 10,000-15,000 people that came from all over the country. We go out and we meet them, we sign autographs there, and they have signs and they're thanking us After the night, people come up to us emotional, wanting to hug us about how we brought their family together and the joy they bring. And so when you think about that, the purpose in what you do, we will work harder than anybody, and we will put the highest standard for these people because it means so much to them. Find a job, a passion, something that means so much to you, but also means so much to the people you serve. When you do that and you can put those two together, it's game changing. And so for me, when I think back, it's all the people, it's the fans, it's the times we have, it's the unique things we get to do every night to bring joy. It's all the memory experience. It's walking out at Fenway Park and seeing 37,000 people. I grew up south of Boston, and the largest crowd of the whole year at Fenway Park, more than any Red Sox game, and they're all holding flashlights and singing Yellow at a moment that we brought together. Couldn't change that for the world.
That's awesome. Go for it. Yeah.
Hi, how big is your marketing team, and what is the creative process behind creating new content?
Yeah, so we started with one videographer back in 2017, and I was the marketing. It was myself and a videographer, and then we had an intern, and then she became full-time. She's now our vice president 7-8 years later. She's unbelievable. It's Kara Heater. And then we have I'd have to think. We probably have 8 to 10 videographers, probably 6 to 8 photographers, graphic design, and creative. And then we have our entertainment team. Then we have our broadcast team. We do everything in-house. The question is not. We used to do this with just 3 of us, with 4 of us, and I think I'm trying to understand the spirit of the question. How we come up with ideas and how we create is really probably the most valuable. Is every Tuesday we get together and we do our OTT sessions. So we bring together the creative teams, the marketing teams, the players. We submit new ideas because every night we want to do things we've never done before in a live baseball field. So on Tuesday we have those OTT sessions where we share ideas, we pitch them, we share the videos, we get everyone to buy in. If we like them, we don't like them, we like them. Then we put together a table read. Then we start getting the props. Then we start doing rehearsals. Then we practice. Then we work on the videoing. We look at every single detail. The other day during our halftime show with Auburn, it was like everyone write me down. Okay, when you get up at this moment, and those guys had never danced, they never lip synced, they never did anything, and we had to work with them over and over and over and over again to capture it. It's that the attention to detail plus the idea and the high standard that really makes everything work.
Let's have like 1 or 2 more.
One in the back.
Go for it, man.
So, you're selling out Major League Baseball stadiums and NFL stadiums. How do you do that? And have you ever considered possibly doing a motor speedway? How to make be more successful than the MLB when they tried it?
How do you do that is such a loaded question, but it's create demand and create excitement for a product. So for instance, we spend $0 on marketing, but we invest everything on the experience. And what I mean by that is we now have 35 million social media followers between all the different accounts and the brands, and we've built that following, that excitement. And then we do one big event, our selection show, where we announce everywhere we're going. And we spend 6 figures plus on this, staging, fireworks, lighting, video board screens, but we sell tickets to it. So we sell tickets to our fans to come. We sold 5,000 tickets this past year. And they come out, and we make every announcement of every city larger than life. And so that moment right there, we had 2.4 million people join the lottery list in 24 hours this past year. Now we're at 4 million in 2 weeks. And so now, I just announced this morning, I think, our top 11 cities, every one of them have over 100,000 plus people on the list. And each person on the list equals at least 2 plus tickets. So you build excitement, you build demand, everyone knows you sell out, and then you keep sharing the product. Why we won't do a speedway? We looked hard at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, very hard. It wouldn't be a great fan experience. Even Bristol, I think they did a great job, not a great fan experience. We will not compromise our brand or our show if it takes away from the fan experience. I don't care how much of a big spectacle it is. At Kyle Field and Neyland Stadium, those 200,000 seat stadiums, you better believe we're going to deliver a great fan experience. We're gonna figure it out because we have an idea on how it can work and how we can win the upper decks and all that. So we'll probably break a record at some point, maybe bigger, only if we know we have all the cast, all the people, all the spectacle moments to make it win for everyone, even if you're sitting in the furthest seat away from home plate.
And you guys aren't just doing big stadiums on the tour. Do you mind talking about a little bit of the thought process behind Montana and some of the other amazing cities that you're going to? I mean, there's like a 12,000 seater in there, right?
Oh, we have Montana's 3,000.
Yeah.
4,000. I go where others won't go. I've said this repeatedly now. North Dakota, South Dakota, you think of Montana, you think of even West Virginia, some of these other states, that a brand that's growing like us would never go there. We're trying to create 1 billion fans. And even if it's 1 fan at a time or 3,000 in Montana, we're going to create fans in different places. We're going to go to them. I learned a lot from Dave Matthews Band back in the day, who learned a lot from Grateful Dead. For years, Dave Matthews and his band was in a van, and they would play sometimes 2 to 3 different shows a day to create fans. And so before their first album came out, when it came out, people were singing their songs before the album even came out, because all these college campuses were sharing the music because they were everywhere. They were playing everywhere. We don't want to just be at a few places. We want to go to the small cities, even when it doesn't make sense on paper. It is not fiscally responsible for us to fly everyone out to Montana for 3,000 people. But in the long game, if it's creating fans and trying to create 1 billion fans, it makes complete sense.
All right.
Hey,
last
Jesse,
question of the
Can I
day,
jump
Jesse.
in? Hey,
What's up,
Jesse,
babe?
I hear there's a really, really great, amazing blue and gold stadium
Yeah, baby.
right near here that you guys are more than welcome to play.
Yeah. Put
I
Chattanooga on the list.
appreciate the invitation. We look at everything. I will tell you that. We look at every single bid and every offer that comes our way.
Hey, Jesse, I'm gonna have an atypical final question in your last time. I'd actually like it if you could ask you a question. What question do you wish we would ask? And I'll turn the mic back to you to answer it.
A question that I wish you guys would ask. I mean, for me, I'm not looking for any specific questions. What I would say is the questions go to yourself and what can you do that's different? What can you do that's unique? What can you do to take a chance? And I think we need more young people that are trying new things, experimenting, and not afraid to bet on themselves. We bet on ourselves every single way, from 7 figures in debt to nothing. And I think, how can you look internally and say, I'm going to take a chance. I'm going to go the way that others don't go and bet on myself. That's what I'm so proud of our organization for. Those are the things that I look at. And I hope that all of you guys can find that opportunity and have that courage to try that. Because as Walt Disney said, all of your dreams can come true if you have the courage to pursue them. So that's what I would challenge you guys to.
Jesse, on behalf of the University of Tennessee at Chattanooga, I can't tell you how grateful we are for not just your time today, what you guys are doing in the marketing industry, what you're doing for foster families across the country through Bananas Foster. Man, you've created some lifelong memories for a lot of young men and women today. So thank you so much, sir. We're really grateful for you. Wow! Goddamn! Thanks, guys. Wow! Holy crap! He did it. Y'all did it. Oh my God! Y'all, way to go. Hey, it's the highlight of every semester. Is having these guest speakers when we get to do it. Grateful for you. Hey, if you're in principals, 11 o'clock, don't forget to drop off your name tags at the front. Love you guys. Go Mocs. See you Thursday. Let's have a great end of the semester.